right, you hit the button, and you hope it works. You never know until you go live. There we are. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. The Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, and today I tell you what, people, Bear is on the warpath here. Yes, he is. I got that thing on there. Let me get that off of there. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jiminy. Good to see you here. I can't believe, for crying out loud, if you haven't heard this story here, Bear is going to go on the warpath with this. But for kind of the theme for the show is kind of a beauty and ugliness. And Bear he's going to call a spade a spade. Oh, you ugly people out there. Not literally ugly, I mean figuratively ugly people out there. Bear is coming for you. But first, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Hey, P-Money, good to have you here. Finally, P-Money is here. I tell you what, after all these times, P-Money decides to finally come back. All right, well, I tell you what, let me find it here 1 second here, people, because we actually have quite a bit of campaign updates here. Kind of our beauty, our beauty, as opposed to the ugliness out there, as opposed to the beast out there. Well, a bear would be the beast out there, the ugliness out there. All right, where am I here? Hold on 1 second, people. Why am I not prepared for any of this? All right, there we are. Oh, actually, I can do the chat. Bear finally figured this out, people. I tell you what. Of course, I do that. After all this time, Bear finally figured it out how to finally do this. We will, oh my goodness here, P-Money, we will get into that in a moment. I tell you what, people, sometimes Bear kind of comes to the show saying, it'll kind of try to, piece together, maybe. Oh no, it all fits today, people. Anyways, we will continue here. Coming from Clint Stoker and the Dracula. Very interesting, if you haven't heard. Clint Stoker, actually kind of a sort of descendant of the original author out there of Dracula. So he's coming out with a new book. He's got a printing update and an extended campaign. Ooh. I hope you all had a fantastic 4th of July weekend, Clint Stoker says. The campaign was set to close last night, but I went ahead and extended the campaign for an additional 20 days. We're just 700 away from 20K. Very nice. The extended campaign will not affect the shipping date or timeline. I spoke with the printer this morning, and they have informed me that the book is scheduled to ship from the warehouse on August 2nd. They are starting the printing process now, and over the coming month, they will be assembling the books. He finishes off. Thank you all for your support. Very good. Clint, yes indeed. Also known, if you don't know, Sweetcast out there. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Where have you been? People have been asking about you. People have been asking about beer? That's all right. Oh, poor P-Money has a sinus infection. That is terrible. That is awful, really. That is a no fun experience whatsoever here. All right, trying to move quickly along here, people. Bear has plenty to get through here. I tell you what, people, a lot to get off his chest. Once again, Mark Polton with USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift. They have they are also extending rather their campaign 2 more weeks. The great Mike McMahon out there doing some great work. Thank you for a fantastic 30 days on the USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift Ultimate Edition campaign. We've extended it for 2 more weeks. Actually, I've got the picture here. Let me do that. Where did I put that? There we go. Very nice. We've extended it for 2 more weeks, the campaign that is. Afterward, the book will go to print. We unlocked a 10K stretch goal for all backers, and now announced the next one at 15K. All right. All backers will get the USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift print featuring the Reaper Destroyer by Joe N. Sontag. So there you go. A very neat little thing. Once again, beauty versus ugliness here is kind of the theme for the show here today. So once again, a great cover there from Mr. Sontag out there. Very cool. I think. Let's see, trying to remember the lore of Graveyard Shift. I think the demon-looking guy was there in the second. I think he was in the second book, if Beer numbers correctly. Got rid of Van Helsing out there, and I think that was the Dracula that he was praying to in the first book there, if Beer can remember that correctly there. So there you go. Very cool. Very much looking forward to checking that out here, hopefully pretty shortly here. Let's see, I'm moving along very quickly here. One of Bear's kind of they've been around forever, but kind of up and coming as far as Bear's appreciation here with Alterna Comics. He's got a very interesting, he's doing different things for different weeks here, so he's got a different perk here with Timey Tim. A working replica, which is a interesting clock there, or not a clock, what do you call those little timers out there? So there you go. It even comes with some sunglasses. Only 20 are available, people. So go check that out. Bear was showing, what was that? The other day with some of the Alterna Comics stuff. Some of the stuff that kind of comes with some of that stuff. So always neat to see some of the stuff from Alterna Comics and kind of what they are putting out there. Very nice indeed. All right, moving ever so quickly along here. We actually have some stuff from, if I can find it here, 1 second, people. There we go. The Wraith of God. I tell you what, this was. What was it? It was like number 65 or 66 of... Aaron is doing a great job of updating. I can't say of another campaign that has done... maybe Gary Shipman, but done more as far as updating and keeping in contact with people. He's got a printer update out there. He says, hey everybody, I hope you had a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. What? No, of course not. You need to blow off your fingers. That's a 4th of July to remember. Guess who called me today? Oh, I don't know. The printer. They called me to tell that their bindery machine broke down again, and that there will be a 2-day delay on shipping out Wraith of God. He says, what does that mean? Not much really. Instead of getting the books on a Saturday of this week, they will probably be here on Monday or Tuesday of next week. Sorry to continue to have to report these little delays, but hopefully this will be the last one. He says, let me find it here. He has, where is it here? 1 second, people. There we go. He's got an interesting, let me find it here. Many of you know I've been working on the next Wraith of God campaign. While waiting on this one, there will be 3 cover options on the next campaign. I've shared you with the main wrap-up cover. Let me see if I can find that one. 1 second. I think it was it that one? I think it might have been that one, if Bear's not mistaken, that he shared on a previous campaign there. Let's see. I've shared with you the main wrap-up cover option. Now here is option B. So there we go. We'll get back to it. There we go. There's option B. A 1960s Marvel's Tales of Suspense option. Great fun for those of you who share my love of nostalgia. And again, some great artwork out there. Thank you all for your continued patience and support of this exciting project. Of course, we'll talk next week. Of course, Aaron. Always leading with the updates. I tell you what, I don't know if Bear has had any more updates than what Aaron's putting out here. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let me get to the next one here. Let me find it here. It's very quick. Very quick, Glenn. I think he was talking about this the other night, or last night, I should say. I'm trying to remember who he went with. I don't recall right off the top of Bear's head here, but anyways, a Titan, Gary Shipman, he's in talks with a publisher. Holy cow! He says I'm in talks with a publisher about the possibility of them publishing the Titan Mouse of Might series. He'll post an update as soon as I know more. Actually, he was talking about that, like he said, last night. I'm trying to remember. It was the same publisher that he was doing it with the 25th anniversary of Packin's Land. So it goes through Bear's brain here. Can't remember the one that he was talking about there, but very cool, very interesting update there from Gary Shipman out there. How about Gary Shipman, please? I tell you what, actually finally got into Discord. I finally did the Discord and actually joined Gary's channel last night. So there you go. I'm still trying to figure out. I was going to try and do that today. I got so much going on here, but we will try and do the Discord there. So it is the Comics Bear on the Discord. So go ahead and check that out if you dare out there. Yes, indeed. Oh, P Money says, I hope you look at the Jawbreakers campaign. Well, there we go. As well, looks like he's doing the $1 campaign for longer. Well, you've just taken it. I try and do this, but I tell you what, P Money just jumps the gun here. Let's see. Yeah, that $1 Jawbreaker campaign is a winner. That was an instant buy for me. There you go. And I would say he also is selling some of the other books. We'll get into it here in just a second. I know I was questioning getting Jawbreakers 4 because I hadn't gotten the 3 yet. Poor guy. But even shipping to Canada, the whole thing was $11. Nice indeed. I'm assuming that's American money. Let's see. Okay, well, good for Gary. If he gets a publisher, I hope it works out for him. Yes, indeed. Thank you, VM. We will get to that in a minute. Oh boy, oh boy. That is a... Well, the sort of theme of the show here, VM, is sort of beauty versus ugly. So we're looking at the beauty first. We want our beauty first before we get into the ugliness. The ugliness out there. Anyways, from Splato Comics, $1 Jawbreakers campaign. Forever deal to remain. The craziest deal in Comicsgate ever to remain in effect. Hi everyone. I think people think that I fell asleep and forgot to switch the price of Jawbreakers Forever to $25. It wouldn't be the first. You can ask John Malin about that. But I actually stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch the initial campaign end and go into In Demand. This experiment has been, as Jiminy says, highly successful, and as long as the books to backers ratio remains 2 to 1, the $1 deal will remain in effect. Craziness indefinitely. Jawbreakers Forever, there you go, there's that. Bear had it on his previous, don't look at it now, people, previous video. You can click on there and go to it there, but there you are. There you are, $98,000. Bear checked it out yesterday, kind of middle of the day. It was already at, what was it? Was it 60? 60 or 70, something like that. So that's a lot of $1 books, people. Holy cow. I think it was like 2,500 backers at that point. So wow, that's great. Nothing but respect for your boy out there. Yes, indeed. And actually, we've got another one here. 1 second. From your boy Zach as well. Don't be sleeping on. As soon as I can find it here, people. 1 second. Don't be sleeping on either Iron Sights 3 or Impossible Stars 2. Yes, indeed. Bear was actually pretty impressed with Impossible Stars. Have not read Iron Sights just yet, but Impossible Stars, very, very good. Once again, Splato Comics. Hi, everyone. By Canales has drawn 80 of 84 interior pages for Iron Sights 3, and he just turned in the layouts for pages 81 through 84. Actually, by the way, it just kind of reminded Bear as he was reading that. We are actually coming up on the 4-year anniversary of Bear's channel. Holy cow! Can you people believe it? Actually, one of Bear's original reviews was of The Abductables with Black Canales. A very good book. I remember that a little while back. So very cool, very cool. I just happen to remember that there. Very cool. Renzo Rodriguez here. Very good. Just turned in 2 pages and has only 11 pages left for the Impossible Stars 2. There you go. So there you go. Let me find some of the artwork here. Since we're talking about beauty and ugliness out there. The next book after this will be Iron Sights, Impossible Stars, in which we find out how these two franchises dovetail together. They're Mexican, somehow. Somehow it's Mexican. Bai will draw the Earth scenes, and Renzo will draw the space scenes. Finally, I just launched the Indiegogo campaign. Yeah, we talked about Jawbreakers Forever there. So there you go, some neat... I really like, not only the artwork that Renzo did, but, Bear actually did an HDR video of Impossible Stars. I kind of set some music and stuff like that. The colors, I tell you what, some of the colors were, pardon me, really good out there, really good. All right, let me grab a drink here. There we are. Almost 100K. Yes, indeed, a young lady. Your boy's done good. Yes, indeed. Well, if it's over 90K, that means a number of people did as Bear did, or bought extra books. Yes, indeed. I got the they were calling it Gigant. I'm trying to remember the name. Was it Runner? Running? Something like that. The one from Narwhal. Got that one, and there was, what was the other one? Got Jawbreakers 3. I figured, hey, it might get to Bear before it gets to P Money out there. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. A lot of people did. Your boy was smart by luring them in with the $1 book. Yeah, that's what he was talking about with the 2-to-1 ratio that he had going on there. So yeah, as long as he's selling some of the other books, it probably could. You probably got a pretty big print run for that. So, if you've got a sort of larger print run, it's ironically enough is actually cheaper per book. If you have a kind of smaller run, it's actually more expensive per book, kind of ironically there. But yeah, so if he's printing plenty of, and I think the way that your boy does it is he overprints. So on future campaigns, like let's just say for example, Impossible Stars 3 or something like that, or Ironsides 3, yeah, Ironsides / Impossible Stars, whatever. That one would be, you could add that on as well. So I bet you he is overprinting. What did he have? What did he have? It was like 3,000 backers or something like that. So, oops, I closed it. Oh gosh darn it. Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, very good for your boy Zach out there. So doing some great work, some let's just say beautiful artwork out there. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there you go, VM. Yeah, of course. Buying 2 books or more, like Bear did. He got 2. 3 with the other one there. Well, now I always feel guilty about just getting the $1 book. Well, I hope you got that special Gemini mailer out there. Yeah, I wouldn't feel guilty about that at all. That's a deal of the century. You can tell your children about that, or your grandchildren out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back to it. Okay, so we've got, we will, oh boy, we will get to this. We will get to this in just a second, but trying to come up with the theme today for the show, talking about beauty and ugliness here, and also kind of a sort of, how would you kind of describe it? A sort of not lying to yourself, not saying an apple is an orange. Oh, of course that apple is an orange. Why wouldn't it be? You're lying to yourself and everybody, and that kind of goes with the theme of the ugliness here. So let's. Hold on. Hold the phone, people. 1 second. Hold the phone 1 second. A beer. I just got back. Okay. We kind of went through all that. Just got from another one from your boy Zach, talking about the Narzak book and Runner. Runner is the name of it. There you go. We actually showed that on one of the other videos there. Yeah, I got all that artwork. Okay, we don't need to get into that. All right, where was Beer? For crying out loud, he was just about to do something and got totally turned around here. All right, so anyways, talking about beauty and ugliness, not lying to yourself, not trying to say, oh, that ugly piece of artwork is really beautiful, that sort of deal. So let's go ahead and get into, as VM likes to say, our great news of the day here. So let me get to it here. Where did I put the... Oh, is that it? There we go. There we are. Yes, indeed. I think this is the first reprint of Jawbreakers #1. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. You can get the first reprint and all that sort of stuff on his campaign there. Yes, indeed. All right, so let's get into it, people. I tell you what. Evie, yeah. Okay, hold on here. Uncle E should take notes for when he does Cyberfrog 3. Can you imagine how huge his would be if he did what your boy Zach did? Yeah, it would be big. Yeah, that would definitely be pretty big. But I don't know, boy oh boy, we're losing money initially, but we're going to make up for it in volume. Your boy has a different way of going about his campaign than EVS does. I think on this one, your boy is trying to get some of the books previously that people are buying, I think people would probably they probably would already have some of the books from Uncle E, so they might just be getting the new book and not necessarily the older book out there. I don't know, maybe. Really, again, it's something that Bear's been saying for a long time. Just bring down the price just a little bit. He did pretty good. What was it, $25 or something that it was supposed to be? So, yeah, I mean, most of the books, what, 30, $35? So, hey, $1 is great. $25, I'm doing pretty good there. So just bring it down. If Uncle E could just bring it down to, let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say he could do it for $20. I think that would sell like hotcakes, kind of like what you're talking about there, Peabody. All right, I tell you what, get turned around with the chat here. Get turned around with the chat. Rumor. This is from Bounding Into Comics and the great JB Augustine out there. This is so stupid. If this rumor is true, you guys deserve to go bankrupt. Rumor, Warner Brothers Discovery won't pull The Flash from theaters, believes Ezra Miller, will seek help. He does need help. Actually, the people at Warner Brothers Discovery need help. I tell you what. In news that could qualify for an entry in the Daily Stupid. It's being reported that Warner Brothers Discovery is, quote, confident the disturbed Ezra Miller will seek professional help before it's too late. That is to say, before next June, when The Flash is set to come out. Yes, indeed. Geekosity, is that how you pronounce it? Geekosity? Geekosity, sources say that their final decision, this is their final decision, unless Miller gets in more trouble. Oh my goodness, we'll get into that in a second. But they do not envision that happening. Oh my god. This decision is largely based on the studio's profit margins, as they want to be spared the headache and the expense of throwing The Flash on HBO Max. I would say throw it in the HBO trash. That's just beer. Warner Brothers Discovery would do so at a loss, and several reports have stated numerous times, including those by Geekosity, with a $200 million budget. By the way, is there anybody out there clamoring for a Flash movie? Well, let me take that back. Is there anybody clamoring for a Ezra Miller Flash movie? Did he really make that much of an impact in the Batman versus Superman movie and the Justice League movie? I mean, is there really a $200 million movie to be made with the Flash? I mean, they sold what was it, the CW for like $1. I mean, the Flash is kind of big on there, but probably worth more than $1, I would suppose. I don't understand this. Let's see. With a $200 million budget, it's their best choice? In other words, pick your poison. After all, HBO Max would be a huge financial loss. I would say just write it off as a loss. At the very least, they're trying to do something with we'll get into it here. It's added that the new CEO, that Bear can't pronounce, who up until now has been about cutting costs and fostering change, won't bite that bullet. The CEO does, however, remain adamant that Miller won't be involved in future projects or anything to do with Warner Brothers Discovery. We're going to keep you on this one, kid, and then you're out. And that starts with the press tour for The Flash. They don't really need Miller to promote the movie. They are in a huge chunk of. We'll get to that in just a second. Batman actors Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton can pick up the slack. So could Sasha Calle if needed be. But Miller's absence may yet stick out like a sore thumb and cast further negative attention on the film's release. So they're doing some sort of like multiverse sort of Batman from the different Batmans and stuff like. Just do that. Just do like a very simple. Just cut out all the fat with Ezra Miller in there. Just do a straight Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, kind of a short film. Put that up on what was it? HBO Max. Just put that up there. Have it as a draw or something like that. Bada bing, bada boom. You may lose some money, but you won't lose your soul by putting Ezra Miller in there, for crying out loud. Let's see. Ben Affleck is getting jacked there. Warner may feel that their bases are covered. They're not. And that they can believe that all they want. But the sad fact is more scandals are occurring, and I'm sure coming. The latest instance that's transpired in February, a German woman came forward anonymously to tell Variety that Ezra Miller has made her feel unsafe in her own home. We actually have that, by the way. When she invited Miller over, she forbade the actor from smoking inside, and that set Miller off. Oh, of course, why not? That just seems to set them off. I asked. Okay, we'll get to this in just a minute here. She's not saying that, but let me just read it to kind of get through it here. Circle back to the ugliness here. That just set them off. I asked them to leave about 20 times, maybe more. They started insulting me, she said. I'm transphobic, piece of S. I'm a... It became so... By the way, you don't want to call a German woman a... I think that would be kind of insulting. Unless she happened to be wearing some Hugo Boss or something. It becomes so stressful for me. They were going around my once again, going around my house, looking at everything, touching everything, spreading tobacco leaves on the floor. Why? It felt disgusting and very intrusive. She had known Miller for about 2 years and described the actor as super caring, super nice, and not like one of those guys. Here, try this drink. And without suspicion before this. I had no reason to suspect anything bad was ever going to happen with... she said, unfortunately, things devolved to the point where Miller ranted about tobacco being sacred and being able to do whatever, so she had to call the cops. Miller also proceeded to talk to her, quote, like a dog, what? And spread tobacco leaves everywhere for some reason. I don't know why. Miller continued to talk and shout that... whatever, was a rape survivor, and that I was triggering. We'll get to that in a second. I tell you what, that's hard for bear. It is hard for bear. They started to say I had insulted them. I had beat them up. I had hurt them. A lawyer friend and another who is a social worker backed up the homeowner's account of her famous and unruly guest. One of them recounted, I was worried. I think she was misled. She had a memory of them from when they had a time in L.A. This is how it gets so confusing, people. And what she got in Berlin was really different. It sounded dangerous. The woman filed a criminal complaint, and Miller was investigated for trespassing by the German state prosecutor's office. But the investigation stalled after Miller left Germany. Yeah, I guess it would. Fast forwarding to today, Miller is thought to be holed up on his Vermont property with a family he's been accused of keeping hostage. There are also stray firearms scattered about. I would say assault rifles. Military-style assault rifles. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Is it remotely possible for Miller to stay out of trouble? And whoa there, bounding into comics, won't be involved with the DCU going forward. We're doing a press for The Flash, but the film is probably doomed by now. I still say, burn the negatives, cut out the Batman stuff, but burn all the negatives. Okay, crying out loud. I tell you what, people, I tell you what. Okay, let me see, oh goodness, holy cow. 1 second here, people. I gotta go back here. Of course, not a chance of Miller could get in more trouble. Yeah, there we go. I only want to watch the Flash movie for Michael Keaton. Again, just cut out the Michael Keaton parts and forget the frickin' Flash. Let's see. EBS has made quite a lot of pushing the same Cyberfrog books over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Hey, look, if people want to buy it, it's look, if there's a demand for it, go ahead and sell it. I don't have a problem with that. The only thing that Bear says is like, if it distracts from making the new book, so like the toys and some of that stuff, I felt that kind of distracted from kind of the book coming out a little bit. That's kind of the only thing for Bear. The whole movie looks like a mess. The only reason to watch would be for Michael Keaton. Again, speaking of Millers, that Mike Miller was mistaken for Frank Miller by DC and was sent an original cover of Frank's. The value of a Frank Miller cover is 6 figures. Hey, pretty cool. Did not know that. I'm just kind of scrolling through this. Ooh, they're playing the pronouns game. When you mean Ezra Miller, when you read they, them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it here. So this was coming from Variety here. Okay, Variety here. So we have the actual news story right here from Manoromi. Oh, for crying out loud! I will try and get this right. Manoromi Ravindar and Adam B. Berry. I tell you what. The reason that Barrett likes to read some of these, to give credit, but also to shame, to shame. So this is where we just read some of that stuff. This is where it comes from. Bear had this in the links. It is a long article here. I'm not gonna read the entire thing here. Let me find kind of the thing here. Anyways, let me just kind of start it here real quick. I'll just kind of do a very quick one here. Let's see. Nadia, I believe that was one of the women that Miller had assaulted, has not seen Miller since that night, and she blocked their number on her phone. Okay, so what happened was these people, let me see if there's anything that they quoted here. I don't see where they quoted her. Anyway, so they're talking to these people here. I don't want to read the entire thing because it would just take forever. What happened was, as these people were giving their interview to Variety, the people that we just talked about, what happened was, is these people are saying, you know, the usual normal. Let's see. Bear is not a biologist, but pretty sure Ezra Miller is a dude, a fella, a possessor of a wang, that sort of deal. So what happened is Variety is coming in and then coming through and then not quoting them correctly, and then putting in the Miller's preferred pronouns. So they, them, their, that sort of deal. So when you're reading the article, there's actually a group of people. They're talking about the one in, I think it was it Iceland? Either Iceland or Hawaii, one of the places there where Ezra Miller was trying to choke another woman out. And so they replaced the pronouns of Mr. Miller with they, them, their. They completely take that stuff out. They take it out of context. So when you're reading it, it becomes very confusing. Are you saying, okay, wait a minute, are there more than multiple people choking this woman out? Or are there multiple people doing, spreading tobacco on the floors? No. It's Ezra Miller. He's just saying, oh, let me just go by my preferred pronoun. So I want to shout out Variety for saying that they take the position of a man choking a woman. They take his prerogative over hers. The victim who was choked can't have her own words being put out there by Variety. They have to change it to they, them, their, that sort of deal. So that's kind of why Bear kind of read some of that stuff with the Flash sort of deal. There, it is a long article. I don't want to get into any of this. By the way, great with the death threats out there from Mr. Miller out there as well. If Bear were to do that onto YouTube, well, actually, what was this? Instagram. If Bear had an Instagram account and was trying to do that, he would be banned. Although this fella out here can just, make a random stuff out there suggesting that they just kill yourself. Just kill yourself. No biggie. That's all right. Anyway, she was very concerned about, like she said, fans showing up at her door wanting to beat her up for some reason. Again, is that many Ezra Miller fans out there? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Mike was honest enough to return the artwork to Frank. I'm picturing Bear covering his mouth with his claws, trying to prevent from saying the different N-word there, the completely different N-word there, but there you go. They're playing the pronouns game. Yeah, okay, I read that. Bear's a good bear. Here we go. Grant Justin should just show us Ezra Miller's farm with the cops dressed up as the Flash and arrest him. There we go. Here we go. I went to my wife and said I'm new pronouns is the possessor of Wang. At which point Ruth declared herself crusher of the Wang. Wow. All right. Well, anyways, speaking of they, them, and crushers of Wangs, from Deadline out here, Nancy Tartaglone? We'll go with it. British Independent Film Awards shifts to gender-neutral acting categories and adds prizes. Holy cow! Wow. The British Independent Film Awards is making some changes for its 25th anniversary. We all watch the British Independent Film Awards out there, of course. Going gender neutral with its acting categories, as it also adds new performance awards, a new debut director category for feature documentaries, and 2 music prizes. In doing away with actress and actor honors, BIFA joins other organizations that have recently made the change, including the Berlin Film Festival, the MTV Movie Awards, who cares, and the Brits. BIFA says it will now present 5 acting awards. What? Best lead performance. Best supporting. I tell you what, supporting performance. You're supporting the lead? I believe that is racist. The best joint lead performance, once again, racist. For 2 or exceptionally 3, I suppose performances that are a joint focus of the film. That would be called an ensemble. That's not a BIFTA's established Breakthrough Performance Awards, which was already non-gender specific, remains unchanged. Yes, indeed. So once again, we have to go around the contortions, and we can't say, hey, that's a nice actress. She did a really good job. Or, hey, that fella, that possessor of a Wang, he did a really nice job. I thought he did really well in that movie. Or hey, maybe there is a transgender actor out there, actress, whatever, out there. Maybe they did a grand performance out there. Well, just put it in either the actor or the actress category, whichever one they happen to be playing on screen. It's not that hard, people. It's really not that hard. Not that hard at all. So that kind of leads us into what we're trying to talk about here today. And let Bear know, I need to go back up here. Let Bear know if you've actually heard of this. This is actually our sort of, let me find it here. Our main page here is where we're at. Sorry, I didn't get the picture in the news article here, but trying to tie a lot of this stuff together, talking about, I talked a little bit about the ugliness as far as pronouns and using crazy pronouns to describe a person, saying that they're they, them, that sorts of deal. Craziness out there. The war on women continues. There we go. There we are. So let Bear know if you've actually heard of this and any of the other stuff that we're going to talk about here. This comes to us from the Complete Morons at Yahoo News. And Sephora Smith out there. Excuse me, the Independent, through Yahoo News. Bunch of Yahoos out there. Climate activists, imbeciles. Let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. Can you even say spade anymore? Climate activists have glued themselves to a 16th century painting at the Royal Academy in protest against climate inaction and the continued production of planet-heating fossil fuels. Campaigners from the group Just Stop Oil glued their hands to the frame of a copy of Leonardo da Vinci's famous Last Supper, attributed to one of the artist's pupils, Gimpetrio. It was the latest in a series of protests by the group targeting the art world. In fact, we did some last month, I believe. They were trying to get the Mona Lisa. They put, like, what was it, cake or something like that on the Mona Lisa, which it wants to do more to address the climate crisis. We'll get into that in a second. 5 activists stuck themselves to the frame of the painting after spraying across the wall below it no new oil. Within minutes, half a dozen security guards and people with RA lanyards ushered visitors and journalists out of the room, and one told the protesters that the police had been called. So did the dozen security guards take out their batons and start beating these people over the heads, especially when you're damaging priceless artwork? No. The Metropolitan Police said at 11:37 a.m., police were called to the Burlington House, Piccadilly, following reports that protesters had glued themselves to artwork. The police said 3 men and 2, possibly women, we don't know, were arrested on suspicion of criminal damage. How can it be suspicion? They were glued. They were glued to the piece of artwork. How do you... Oh, well, I don't know. We'll have to do a study on this one. That's gonna be pretty hard. Mr. Bramwell, who was among those to target the iconic painting with super glue. Actually, let me hold on 1 second, because I had 3 different stories here, and they had kind of different stuff here. I want to find this butthole here. Let's see, what was his name? Bramwell, there he is on the left there. What an ugly-looking individual. I mean, just ugly-looking individual. Let's also go with XR activist Casper Hughes there in the center. Mr. Hughes? Oh, we'll go with Mr. Hughes. Another ugly individual there. And let's also go with Jessica Algar. Jessica Algar in the ugly shirt. And I'm just going to say it out loud, people. An ugly individual there. A very ugly individual. Let's go along with, Lucy Porter and the stripper boots for some reason. I don't know why. An ugly individual. And of course, let's call them out as they are. Tristan Strange. What a great name there. 40 years old. A community organizer. Never ever trust a community organizer. Once again, ugly individual there. Ugly individual there. There we go. I just wanted to put a face to some of the names here. Mr. Bramwell, ugly individual, who was among those to target the iconic painting with superglue, by the way, made with oil, said the protest group had chosen the Last Supper because people around the world are currently experiencing a food crisis. Oh my God, what was it caused by? Global rising temperatures? No, it couldn't be. No, really, it couldn't be. They're serious. It can't be. We'll get into that in a second. Food production is down and crops are failing, he said. Any more oil production or new oil infrastructure projects are going to tip us over the edge, possibly to 2 degrees of warming. By the way, if Bear goes outside right now, it's 100 degrees. I'm just saying. It's 100 degrees outside. So 2 degrees, it ain't going to be that big of a difference. This, he said, would cause more crops to fail and put more people at risk of starvation. The future of this planet is facing its last supper in many regards. Ah, that's so sweet. Just Stop Oil wants the government to stop any new oil production, any new production of oil in the UK. The activists are not alone in their concern. Its roadmap to a net zero energy system by 2050. The International Energy Agency said that there should be no new oil and gas fields beyond 2021. Well, that's nice and all. That's really nice and all. Except for just kind of one minor issue. By the way, it's not. Let me find it here, people. 1 second. Beer with beer. Let me see. While I'm damaging priceless art, I've got to take a selfie. Beer trying to sound Italian. Is there such a thing as an Italian bear? I don't know. That'd be very interesting if there's bears in Italy. Very cool. By the way, so a number of you might not be aware, unlike this complete idiot and moron and ugly person, let's just say Mr. Bramwell here, very ugly. Very ugly. Just going to call it by its name here. Food production and crops are failing aren't due to rising global temperatures. It's due to, oh, let's just say, the more expensive gas out there, and due to certain governments out there, like, let's say, the Netherlands. Let me know if anybody's heard about this. The Netherlands out there, the Dutch people out there. Well, they're a little bit up in arms. They're a little bit up in arms. So let's check out some Dutch farmers out here. Let me find the thing. Find the thing, and you do the thing, and you do the thing. Once again, I'm sorry, people. There's not going to be any sound, but we don't need any sound. We don't need any sound. The caption for this: undercover police tried infiltrating the Dutch farmer protest, and they were caught. Well, what were the Dutch farmers protesting? Well, the Dutch parliament decided that they wanted to help out all the ugly people out there, and they're saying, well, we need to stick to our global warming initiatives out there, so we got to start banning nitrogen. Now, some of you might be saying, well, wait a minute, Bear. Doesn't nitrogen take up, like, I don't know, 75, 80% of the atmosphere? Why, yes. Yes, it does. So why are they trying to ban it? Well, they're trying to ban fertilizers. They're trying to make people go back to just, tilling their soil themselves. Maybe, kind of, I don't know, taking a dump and then covering it over, throwing some seeds on there. The natural way. We can't have any nitrogen-based fertilizer out there. Well, a little bit of getting a little bit heated out there. So let's go ahead and check this out. From the Dutch land, you can see some of the police there. They're in the right of the frame, and they're, oh my God, we've been found out. And then they decide to go start beating on the protesters. Well, guess what? And the protesters weren't having any of that, and they decided to jeer and cheer and chase away the Dutch police. Well, except for that one guy there, but he ain't doing a whole lot. No, they're trying to take away the undercover police that are out there trying to get rid of, disperse the farmers that are out there. The farmers are just trying to say, hey, we want our normal lives out there not to be interfered with. Oh, poor guy, what's his name, Johnson out there. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to protest a lot of that sort of stuff. So, once again, by the way, I want to give a big shout out to Black Lives Matter out there and all the defund the police out there. Big shout out to you guys. Hashtag back the blue out there. So what's happening is that they are kind of like the Canadian truckers out there. They're the farmers are taking their farm equipment and taking it onto the highways and the byways of the Netherlands there, and they're basically blocking traffic. They're making their voices heard, very mostly peaceful out there. So what we have here is looks like to be a intersection at a highway here. You see the tractor there. It's about to pull through the intersection here. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. Eli says, every winter in Canada, I welcome. So this is another tractor here.
Hey, wapens, jongen, wapens. Hey, Molla, rij weg, jongen, rij weg. Wapens is daar.
Now, in case you didn't see it, those two police officers right there. We'll go back. Let's go through that again. Watch the police officers there and see what they do, without comment from there. So Black Lives Matter. So defund the police. So all you people out there, where are you at in the Netherlands? By the way, that was two policemen that were shooting at a unarmed tractor that was trying to go down the road. They shot the 16-year-old kid that was in there, barely missed his heart by a couple millimeters. So where did the police decide to take our good friend there that just got shot? No, not to the hospital. They took him to the police station where he is currently being held. The police station is currently surrounded by all of the farmers and protesters there, trying to get the kid out of jail that he's been in, and hopefully getting some justice there for the two police officers there that shot an unarmed person there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that is our Dutch farmers story of the day there. which kind of leads us back here to our, I'm just going to get rid of this real quick here, to our no new oil global warming folks out there. They're trying to say, oh, we're trying to help out there. We're trying to help. Oh, isn't there mass starvation? Yes, because you are the cause of it. You ugly, ugly people out there. And that's what Bear's just kind of gotten sick and tired of all this stuff. Kind of had happened a little bit like last year. Bear was, doing his normal, let's just do comic book stuff, nothing to worry about, and blah, blah, blah. They started to do the vaccine. It just got a sort of a bee in Bear's bonnet out there. Just couldn't take it anymore. I did a little bit of some of the shows that we were doing from last year. Started talking a little bit about hello Google, hello YouTube, talking about the ineffective vaccine that they were injecting into people out there. And come to find out, hey, you know what? Most of that is actually true out there. I was out there on the ledge there at the very beginning, but here we are. Once again, Bear has had enough. I've had enough of these people. I just complete imbeciles, complete morons trying to rule the world, and these people couldn't even draw a stick figure, much less what a great, not even Michelangelo, his understudy did. His understudy did a complete masterful work of art. These people couldn't even draw a stick figure. This is why I call these people ugly. These are ugly people trying to, whether it's the they, them pronouns, whether it's we go through all this stuff with the comics. People might say, I'm just going to say, for example, like Narwhal. Narwhal's art isn't up to my, it's not the greatest art or whatever. Not Bear's opinion, just kind of saying that. Bear would put up Narwhal's art against any of the supposed great people out there that are doing it in the sort of woke sort of community out there. It's all ugly. It's all ugliness, and Bear's tired of it. I'm tired of trying to say, oh, well, that ugly painting, that really is, that looks pretty good. No, it doesn't. It's ugly. These people are ugly. The Ezra Miller, they, them, no, you're ugly. It's he. If you chop your wang off, you're still a he. It's still there. Tired of the, trying to, oh, well, we got to, if these people are that on the fringe, and if somebody misuses a pronoun or says, you can't smoke in here, you gotta go outside and smoke, and they flip out, done with it. Stop listening to them. Just stop it. Anyways, let's go to the chat and see what other people have to say here. Oh, good to see Apex Comics. Great to see you here. There you go. Sorry you had to come in during one of Bear's rants here. One of Bear's rants. Let's see. Trying to figure out where. 100 degrees where you are, Bear. It's 75 here. We'll talk in January or February. Let's see. I think the closest thing to an Italian beer is sliced alone. Thank you, people. Excuse me, Jimmy. There you go. 80% of our products come from petroleum. There you go. The glue that these people stuck on their hands to stick to the wall or stick to the painting there was petroleum based. Let's see. Enough with the global. Oh, I'm sorry, Apex. I didn't mean to go on a rant for you there. Let's see. Every winter. Yeah, okay. Dang it, Ethan streaming with Bear streaming. Don't make me choose. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jiminy. Let's see. I haven't watched EVS in 2 years. Well, good for you. I actually, let's see. Bear caught him the other night. Still, with the whole looking in the past instead of looking into the future. But I gotta give a shout out to Uncle E there. He did admit a little bit of maybe jumping the gun, I should say, with Mike and the whole Pride Month. I think Bear kind of came in on the tail end of it, but I think somebody in the chat was asking him about. He was doing something with Pride Month, and they were saying, I think they were asking, hey, was Mike right all along or something like that. I think Uncle E kind of came around. I mean, again, Bear thinks Mike did everything right except for use the sort of hashtag Pride Month. I think if he did everything except for using that hashtag, he would have been fine. and also people kind of jumping in on that, kind of piling on. I think that was kind of the wrong thing to do there. But yeah, at least he was magnanimous about some of that stuff, and he kind of said, hey, I handled it the wrong way, that sort of deal. Might not have said I handled it the wrong way, but it got handled the wrong way, and wished it would have turned out a little bit better and stuff like that. So hopefully there's some hope out there, but I can't say for certain out there. Bear saying ugly. Did we finally find humans bear won't find delicious? Well, there's still once P-Money. It goes salmon, trash, and then humans. People, I tell you what, you people think that, people getting eaten by a shark or whatever. Well, we must taste good. No, you don't. It's not. Garbage tastes a lot better. Let's see. They all taste the same to beer. Once he peels the skin off, there you go. You're all pink on the inside, people. You all scream with blood-curdling screams the same way. That's all. Everybody with the, nobody says, that black bear is dangerous, but that brown bear isn't that dangerous. And that white polar bear, he's fine. Nobody says they're bears. They're going to kill you regardless out there. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, if Uncle E is out there streaming, I don't want to keep a Jiminy for too. I got one other thing here, real quick. I forgot to do this the other day. Sorry, people. It's kind of at the time, and Bear totally forgot about it. They were doing they had some lady come out and said that poor Donald Trump was trying to jump into a limo and take over the limo and beat up the Secret Service and whatnot and everything. I thought that was kind of silly and whatnot. Bear came across this and just thought it was just hilarious that they were Grand Theft Auto. It's a video game out there, Grand Theft Auto out there, and it has the Trumpmeister out there in the limo. I thought that was great. A little bit. I didn't hit it at the right time. It's weeks past. It's last week's news and sort of stuff like that. But I thought that was. I think it's his head on CJ's body there. So that's that's pretty cool. I thought that was I thought that was a good one out there. I hadn't seen that before, so I wanted to show that. But there you go. There you are for you good people out there. Yes, indeed. The old Trumpster out there. Still hanging in there. All right. Well, once again, people, appreciate everybody out there. We tried to kind of come to terms with kind of what Bear's talking about as sort of the ugliness out there. There's plenty of beauty in the world, and instead of saying, wow, that is beautiful, everybody has to kind of lower themselves down to saying that, in this case, ugly artwork or whatever, for example, just to spare somebody's feelings, and just how it's kind of devolved down. It's just kind of a silly devolution kind of downwards, and Bear's just had enough of it. So next time he sees one of these climate people, or just anybody, Ezra Miller, sort of folks that sort of be ugliness. You people are ugly, and let them sort of freak out about it. I'm done. It's gonna cause somebody to commit suicide. Go right ahead. Bear's not going to stop you. Seek help. Hopefully, seek help, please. Don't go right there. But yeah. Independence from imbeciles. That's where Bear's coming from. All right. Anyways, once again, want to thank everybody out there. Jiminy, VM, good old Apex. We finally get P-Money back as well. Very good. And of course, all of our Russian bots and lurkers as well. We do appreciate you. Try and do this every Wednesday and Saturday, so hopefully we'll be able to do something here on Saturday. Kind of playing around, trying to figure out if Bear kind of wants to do another. Jiminy had me doing a while back a sort of a watch party for a show called The Foundation. Of course, Jiminy never showed up, so Bear was just kind of talking to himself. But maybe trying to do one of those again. Maybe try to do a movie or maybe a TV show that people either like, or if you really want to sort of torture Bear, maybe one that he doesn't like. He's not going to watch The Batman again, that's for sure, for crying out loud. We'll do Batman Forever before we do The Batman again. Got it. Anyway, so if anybody has any thoughts on that, I'll leave it down in the description in the comments there. Also, give Bear a thumbs up. He does appreciate that very much. All right, well, take care, P Money. Take care, Jimmy. It's great to have everybody out here. But you know what? All of this talk about ugliness, has made Bear hungry. So he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people. Grrr.